Zach with Web3 Reviews. Thank you for being with us. Today, it is Friday, August 15th, and we're going to be talking about the crypto market. Let's go. Remember that none of this is financial advice. XRP is still at $3.11. This was a ranging week, man, and we'll see what the weekend does for us. We'll see what the next week does for us. We're almost out of the summer. Now, I called for a summer of pain, and I know that XRP did really well, but I wouldn't call this an explosive summer. Like Bitcoin's sitting at 120. It was sitting at 100 before the summer started. Ethereum is up from 3,000 to 4,000. Things are steadily moving up, but it wasn't the blow off top. All right, it was not the blow off top. If anything, this was laying the groundwork for the blow off top. Because we've been sitting at the all-time highs for the last 2 months. 2 months ago, people were in fear. They didn't know what was going to happen. Bitcoin was sliding between 90 and 100K. XRP was slipping between $2 and $2.60. Ethereum was going between $1,300 and $2K. Flare touched 1.3 pennies. Algorand was down at 17 cents. Now it's up to 25 to 29. So the range has been moved up, okay? But we're still ranging. We did a leg up. The momentum got more bullish. We got more institutions coming online. We got regulators who are agreeing that crypto is going to be the fucking truth. They're giving institutions the groundwork so they can go ahead and hold these digital assets for their customers so they can offer loans to people who already have these digital assets. I wonder who the first bank's going to be that opens their doors and says, hey, come on in. We're giving out loans for your crypto backings. We're taking crypto deposits. Who's it going to be, man? Is it going to be Bank of America? The Ripple partner since 2017, Warren Buffett's biggest bank holding. You know, Warren Buffett always said that Bitcoin was rat poison. But then if you looked what his businesses were doing, his biggest bank holding, Bank of America, was a Ripple partner. So sure, Bitcoin might be rat poison, but XRP is not. XRP might actually be that poison to the Bitcoin maxis if we're calling them rats. And I'm not, dude. I'm not trying to call anybody a rat. You know, I think that there's a lot of FUD going on in this ecosystem. I hate to see the tribalism and people saying, oh, if my token's not doing it, then fuck your token too. The US Gov said they would not be buying Bitcoin. And I'm sure that torques a lot of people off. The fact is that the US Gov owns a lot of Bitcoin. They might be the biggest Bitcoin holder in the whole world in terms of governments. Flare sitting at 2.3 pennies. You look at that all-time chart, we're stuck down here. And until we go ahead and we break that range of 0.04, I mean, one day we're going to look back at this Flare chart and say, holy shit, dude, we had so much time to accumulate Flare. From July 2023 all the way to July 2025, we saw this price range go from beneath 4 cents all the way down to 1.3 cents, fight back up to around 3 pennies, fight back down to beneath 2. And right now we're sitting at 2.3 cents. It has been a grueling time being a Flare holder. And of course you get the airdrops, of course you get the delegation rewards, the staking rewards, which make it a little bit better. Yeah, my bag is not going up, but at least I'm earning more tokens. So the value of my bag has stayed the same and I have more tokens. Helps you sleep better at night, right? And so we got Dom Kwan saying he thinks XRP is going to be worth $1,000 by 2030. We got the IMF and the European Central Bank who have been talking about XRP through documents, interviews, who have been talking about ODL, ISO 200 2022, and XRPL for years and years. But at the same time, we got the World Economic Forum saying that fashion will be abolished by 2030 and humans will wear only a uniform. You know, I'm sure Klaus Schwab, this guy pictured here, is also a fan of the lion being built in Saudi Arabia. So we have some dystopian stuff going on, man. In Sacramento, July 4th, they used drones, the government did, to figure out whose houses had fireworks coming out of them. And they were fining people like $1,000 a firework. There was one house that got a fine for like 50K, and they weren't even home apparently. The neighbors were lighting off fireworks and they were landing in this other neighbor's yard. So the drones picked it up. And what are you going to do? Like, seriously, you're going to go to some website and say, hey, you guys were wrong. Like when you get a speeding ticket and you got to go pay it online. Or you get one of the ones that captures your photo in the mail and you have to tell them you didn't run the light. It was like, dude, it was a yellow. I fucking went through. And they're like, oh, the computer got you. Like, I know. Stupid computer. It's the world we're headed into, man. It's like Elysium. You know, you got to go see your parole officer and it's a robot who just reads you back facts. And if you ever even get excited about the fact that you're getting screwed over, the robot says, do not assault an officer of peace, and you get totally fucked again. This is the world that they want us to head into, man. And so I implore you to be rich, okay? I implore you to be well off. And the reason you need to be is so you can escape this fucking future. This future is not for the rich, man. This future is for those that cannot afford. This future is for those that want universal basic income. You know what Klaus is telling us here is that, yeah, all you guys are going to be so poor, you're going to own nothing and you'll like it. He said that to us before too. He said you will own nothing and you will like it. He has said that you will eat bugs. He has laid the way for what he wants to do to us being humans. If we're not preparing to go out there and to fight this, then I don't know. And you fight this with economic actions. You know, you're not overcoming any revolution without money. You need money for guns and ammo. You need money for food. You need money for shelter. You need money for political favor. This is how things go, man. I'm not going easily into the dark, bro. You want to take away what I got, man? You want to fucking come for me? You want to come for my family? Okay. All right. We'll see how it goes, Klaus. But I disagree, and I don't know who the fuck he thinks he's talking about, but I'm not going to be eating bugs, dude. I'm not going to be getting moved to the line or the likes, dude. I don't care if they make another one in the USA. I'm not moving into it. I don't care what they tell you about it. You see what they're telling people in Canada. Oh, well, you can start forest fires if you go in the woods. And people push back, and they said, oh, well, you can break your leg if you go in the woods. And people push back, and now they're just like, we just fucking hate you. Stay home. We don't like you. This isn't for you anymore. You guys are our fucking peasants. You're going to listen to us. We're going to import people and steal your jobs. We're going to import people and pay them more so your women can be stolen. We're going to fucking import people and have them teach your kids that your culture sucks. And if you can't see that as war, then maybe it's you, dude. Maybe you've become the frog that turned gay, dude. Because we know what Alex Jones said. They're turning the frogs gay. And it was a little bit more nefarious than the frogs weren't turning gay. They were growing vaginas. And sure, they say amphibious beings, if there aren't enough women, can grow vaginas. Like if there are too many men, one could just fucking trune out. But dude, this wasn't the case of them being too many men. This was the case of there were enough men and enough women. But the water itself at University of Cal in Oakland was making the frogs go vagina. You know, and it could be that that's what's going on here. We just got too many frog vaginas walking around our society, dude. And it's why I've been making a joke saying we need an emotional aptitude test to be able to vote. I'm not saying repeal the 19th because I think that some women are perfectly capable. Just like I think some men are totally incapable. And I think an emotional aptitude test might solve the issue, man. Seriously, I think there should be a financial literacy test and there should be an emotional aptitude test. And that emotional aptitude test should include things like, hey, do you think we should kill fucking child rapists? And if the answer is no, then you can't vote. It should be a pretty simple and swift yes or no right there. Hey, do you think we should give all our money to people who don't have any incentive to come here and work? You know, do we think we should give all our money to foreigners who want to come here and take part in welfare? If the answer is yes, then you shouldn't be able to vote. This is how I feel because these people have destroyed the USA. Because those who don't have emotional aptitude to handle tough things have ruined this country. And that's how I feel, man. And so I'm playing crypto super aggressively because I know that I disagree with these folks on so much. I disagree with them on everything. I disagree with the leftist libtards who want to take my money and give it to the people on welfare. I disagree with the government who wants to lock me in a fucking camp for people who don't want to get the COVID vaccine. I disagree with the people who want to take my clothes from me and fucking make me wear a uniform. I disagree with those who say I shouldn't be able to buy beef because only the elite should be able to buy beef. We know fucking Mark Zuckerberg is growing a big ass beef farm in Hawaii, man. They took all the land from those in Hawaii that they didn't think deserved it by doing a fire. And we've seen in places like Canada how many of these fires are being started by humans. Australia, same thing happened, dude. They're willing to go to great lengths to create the pain and then to say, oh, here's the solution to the pain and it means less for you. Think about 9/11, dude. What came after that? The Patriot Act. We all became okay with mass surveillance because, well, yeah, 9/11, we got to be okay with it. But steel beams, bro. Steel fucking beams, dude. How did the black box get destroyed but the passport survive? What happened at the Pentagon? None of it makes sense, man. Watch this video right here. Seeing is believing, bro. Project Bluebeam. And once you see this, you cannot unsee it. And once you come to the realization that even if those kids in this gymnasium get wet, the whale isn't real, your life starts to change, dude, because they have holograms so elite, they can fucking fool you, bro. We're living in a Star Wars realm. They just don't want to tell you that. All right, we had Tupac on stage performing as a hologram, but no one bats an eye, and then it gets used in real life in the sense of a 9/11 or the sense of Jesus being put in the sky, whatever it may be, and no one wants to fucking think, oh, it's Project Bluebeam. It is, dude. It's Project Bluebeam. And it's going to get much worse, man. They're saying the aliens are coming. All right. And so I'm just saying, get ready for what's going to come because the use case of this is to use this to put you in fear. That way you will wear the uniform. There's no more global means of production for fashion. Sorry. You're wearing a uniform. There's no more land that we can service. There's not enough electric chargers there for your car to drive. You have to live in the line in these 15-minute cities. You don't have enough money to leave the 15-minute cities anyways. You don't have the right vaccine to leave the 15-minute city. Where am I going with all this, man? In a crypto week that's paused out, I'm coming to you on Friday with a little bit of fearful conspiracies about what could come if you're not prepared physically and financially for the dystopian future coming at you. You've seen Minority Report where the cop is using this software which tells people who commits the crime before they commit it, but then the software says that it's him who's going to commit the crime and everyone's coming after him and he has to prove that the software is wrong even though he was the one using it. We're entering these times, man. Holy shit, dude. We're going to get the chip implanted in us. We got the crypto fucking bag implanted in our arm. Yeah, right, dude. But already they're locking down the internet saying, hey, you haven't done your age verification. You can't use the internet. You haven't done your age verification. Man, oh man, oh man. It's early on Friday, bro. I'm out here spitting this bullshit, dude. I don't think USA is going to go quietly into the night, dude. Like Australia and like the UK did. And now the UK and Australia are like really up in arms, but they have no arms. So they're just literally putting their arms up as if they're saying don't shoot. The problem is that people aren't going to let you vote your way out of the nonsense that they've allowed you to vote your way into. You voted for this over the last 60 to 80 years. And now you think these people are just going to give up their position of power because you realized it was wrong? If you look at the history books, man, something happens to politicians every few hundred years when they fuck around. And it's usually they get hung. They get tarred and feathered. They get decapitated. They get hung. They meet the firing squad. Dude, this is what happens to the elites when they bend over the 99%. Look at France, man. France 1796. All right, you don't bend over the 99% because eventually the 99% will say, I'm tired of obeying laws. Laws do not pertain to me. Laws are meant to fuck me and put me in jail so that way people could rape my family and then they only get out for 10 days. I'll tell you this, bro. I'm okay with going back to being berserkers and savages. I am. I actually think it's okay. I think it's necessary. If you tell me that people are coming to my doorstep to fuck with me, fuck with my family, I'm no longer safe, you just made yourself no longer safe. So it's grim. But you know what? You gotta be a little bit grim, and you can't just be altruistic about society and about crypto all the time. There's a deeper bullshit going on, bro, and it's meant to control you, dude. You know, when you go to Amsterdam, you go to Vegas, and you meet these people who are degenerates, right? They're selling drugs on the streets. Dude, they don't want credit card. They don't want crypto. They don't want anything traceable. They want fucking cash, dude. Everything illicit gets bought with cash because they don't want the government tracking them. And if you're buying it, you don't want the government tracking you either. Like, what did you buy on the streets at this time? Shut the fuck up, dude. Let me worry about what I do with myself. If I'm an adult, I should be able to do whatever I want as long as it doesn't harm others. That's how I feel. Now, I know there's a lot of talk about marijuana being legal because the places where marijuana has become legal have just become shitholes, man. What's with that, dude? It's obviously not all potheads. Some of them are like tree huggers and shit, but like, bro, collectively are they all just shit? It's like that scene from Harold and Kumar where Harold and Kumar accidentally skydive into George Bush's house and George Bush is getting stoned. And Harold and Kumar can't believe it. They're like, why wouldn't you make weed legal if you love smoking weed? And George Bush is like, fuck no. So I can give those crazies the ganja? Like, yeah, he doesn't want to share with us, but he can handle it. And he doesn't think we can. And I used to think that was bullshit and that movie was really funny. But I live in Seattle. I actually know for a fact now that, yeah, most people can't handle it, dude. Most people need help. You need to lock these people down a little bit. I'm not saying the government should be super restrictive, but I think the government should at least be a little restrictive. I know, it's terrible. I can't believe I'm the guy saying this. I think the government should be a little bit restrictive. The one thing I don't think they should be restrictive about is our gun rights. Criminals don't follow gun rights. So a criminal will have a 30-round mag. They got the extended mag, and they're walking down the street causing issues, bro. They got the switch. We saw a story the other day from Washington where this dude fucking shot up an ER in Tacoma with a Glock with the switch. It's Friday, man. It's Friday, August 15th. It's going to be a good weekend. I got a Saturday special for you tomorrow, huh? Tune in if you'd like to. If not, have a great weekend, man. It's all good. It's Zach with Web3 Reviews. Thank you for tuning in, man. Until next time.